Well, hi, a very warm welcome to Dusty Shelf. I hope I find you well. Now, this is about take 12 of this introduction because I'm really struggling to get this video going, but I'm going to give it another go. So today, some diecast cars. These are from Polestar, the Swedish electric car manufacturer. You can see on the end here the Polestar emblem, and they're made by the French model car manufacturer Norev. I'm hoping that's how you pronounce it. If I have pronounced that wrong, I do apologise. It's a new brand to me. I've only got a couple of these in my collection, and yeah, if I pronounce that wrong, do let me know. But I'm going to say Norev throughout this video. We'll come back to them in a moment. Now, if you're new to the channel, my channel is basically about collecting and things that interest me. So I've been collecting model cars, I've been collecting radio control cars and model trains for an awful long time. I've got quite a substantial collection that I share on my channel, and I just talk through, do a few reviews, but also I like to get out and about, go and visit some heritage railways, heritage engineering, and basically anything that interests me, to be honest with you. So if you haven't had a look at the channel, please go and have a look now. There's lots on there, and yeah, if you've got a similar kind of interest to me, anything from model railways right the way through to roller coasters, you know, then there might be something there for you. So please have a look, and if you can subscribe, I'd be grateful. But anyway, back to the model cars. So I've been watching these for a while. The Polestar basically started off with a Polestar 1 full-size car, obviously, which Polestar 1 was their sort of flagship car. Came with I think it was electric and hybrid, so basically had an internal combustion engine as well as an electric system. But then going forward, it's been a fully electric car company. So the 2, the 3, the 4 have all been fully electric, and then there's another couple on the way. And I've always gone straight to the Polestar stand when I've gone to places like Goodwood, because, you know, the cars are beautiful, and just the way that they're laid out, it's very well, it's very Swedish, very minimalist, very clean lines, and yeah, very pleasing to look at. And so I've kind of followed the Polestar journey, and obviously on the television, I'm sure most of you will have seen the adverts. If you're watching a film, particularly on Channel 4, sponsored by Polestar, you'll be familiar with the brand. But what you may not be familiar with is they also have a shop which sells Polestar goods, everything from artwork, clothing, hats, you know, you name it, it's on there, drinks bottles, and it's called Additionals, Polestar Additionals, but part of that is their model car range. And they basically feature model cars of their full-size cars, pretty much every model that they do in every colour. So you can buy a replica of the car that you own. Now, I've watched these with interest, and they are quite expensive. And to be fair, I just couldn't justify them. I put them on the wish list, and I did see recently that they went down in price a little bit. And I thought to myself, well, I should go for those. But this happened at exactly the same time as Polestar put out a video about their model cars. So I've been in touch with Polestar, and I've been given permission to show the video in my channel. So here is the video that sparked my interest in these cars. Now, I think that's wonderful, and it's the first time that I've seen a car company do that kind of advertising, where they've put model cars in a model showroom. So, you know, these miniature cars in a miniature showroom, both highlighting the brand and the full-size cars, but also drawing attention to the range of model cars that they do on the Additional site. But let me first tell you about the ordering. So, these cars retail for around about £45 each, so they're very, very expensive models. And as I say, I saw a couple that have been reduced. So it's the Polestar 1 and Polestar 2 that have been reduced down to a level that I felt I probably could buy. I think one of them was about £15. The other most expensive one that I bought here was £25. And it was only when I got through to the checkout that I then found out that they are being shipped from Sweden, which made the postage awfully expensive here to the from Sweden to the UK. So actually, going in to buy one car because of the postage, I've ended up buying 4 cars, so they cost me around £20 to £30 each when I factor in all the postage and everything for the 4 models. Obviously, if I bought one, it would have been a lot more expensive because of the, you know, I would have been paying all the postage on one model rather than 4. But anyway, they been delivered. 2 of them arrived in this cellophane packaging, the other 2 in boxes, and I like to do my reviews from how they arrive right the way through, covering first impressions right the way through to sort of a final wrap up on the what I really think of the models. So as you can see, these 2 are still wrapped, these 2 are still in their boxes, but this was just a nice touch in the delivery. It says here it's got an embossed Polestar on the side, and again this very minimalist, very clean lines on the thank you card inside, and it says, "It is what it is. It's a Polestar's additional. At the same time, it's much more than that. It's a symbol of our ambition. It's a piece of the Polestar universe. It's a step on the journey, one towards a more sustainable electric performance, a journey that you've just joined." You know, really nice touch. It makes you feel special for buying something, and you know, one of those things that's not really necessary, but to just, you know, it makes it a pleasure to open, makes it an event to open the box. So yeah, thank you for doing that. I quite enjoyed reading that. So in no particular order, I bought 2 Polestar ones in different colours. In this one, I believe was the BST model of Polestar 2, and this one's just a standard Polestar 2. So my plan for this video, as I always do, is to go through each of the models in detail, get some close-up shots on them, give some thoughts and comments as to the detailing, and then towards the end I'm going to do one final bit, which is my other piece of Polestar memorabilia, which is the Need for Speed collector's pack. But yeah, I'll do that one on the end once I've reviewed these lovely models from Norev. Right, I'll start with the Polestar 1 in Magnesium silver. So I'll just slide this out of the box. Whilst I'm doing that, I'll just say that Norev is a company based not far from Lyon in France. Started in 1953 by the Veron brothers. Veron, V-E-R-O-N, is Norev, spelt the other way round. So Norev is Veron backwards. And they now specialise in, amongst other things, these 1/43 quality models. Now, first impressions of the model, when I'm looking into the box, I'm going to try and hold this up because I'm not sure this is coming out on the camera, but there is a depth of reflection in the back of the packaging. So the way that the back of the box is silver, as you look in, it's almost as if there's a reflection of the car looking back at you, which is a very, very nice effect. I've already mentioned the Polestar logo on the end of the box, either side, and on the back here it says Polestar 1, and then just on the base it basically said this is a collector's model and not suitable for children under 14 years of age, and mentions for the first time here Norev, produced by www.norev.com. Now, these Polestar models, I have seen that they are for sale on the Norev website, but they don't come with the Polestar packaging as far as I can tell. I think if you want this kind of sleek packaging, this is something that yeah, you're probably going to have to go direct to Polestar for. Right, let's get these boxes open. Now, I've shown this several times on the channel, but if you're new here, you probably won't have seen this, but to open these boxes without damaging the corners, normally these have little tabs on them, aren't they? And when you pull them up, you tear the box. If you just slide a ruler through like that and then pull it forward and give a little twist, you can lift the sides of the box up very cleanly without causing any damage. Right, let's slide the car out and let's have a look. Doing it very gently, so I want to keep these nice. So, taking this off the back, we can now see why it's reflecting. The packaging in here, highly reflective, sort of a grey background, which yeah, really does set the model off. Popping that to one side, we're presented in a very nice display case. A little bit of tape on either end just holding the box together, so I'll just remove those back. And let's slide out the model and let's have a look. First impressions, very, very nice indeed. So much detail on here. Absolutely beautiful. It's a good weighty model as well. Okay, before I take this off the base, let's just have a walk around the car. So first of all, on the base here it says Polestar 1 just in front of the car. Looking at the side, got a really nicely detailed handle molded into the door. The shut lines on the door look absolutely perfect, and the paint onto, well, both the shut line on underneath the door and running forward onto the front sill again is absolutely spot on. Got some little printing here. It says Polestar 1, but I can't read what it says underneath. I'll have to zoom in on that with my camera to see how good that printing is, but yeah, first impressions, looks really clear. Wing mirrors are beautifully made and fitted perfectly. I can't see any splodges of glue or any imperfections at all. What's good to see is we've actually got reflective material on the mirror, so there is mirrored material on there. The glass is nicely moulded around the sides here. We've got sort of rubber seal around the side of the glass, and the obscuration bands are fully represented in the on the glass. So around the edges here we've got the big piece in the middle here where the mirror would sit, and again across the roof you can see the obscuration lines on there. A couple of moulded in wipers. I'd like to have seen those separately fitted, but they're moulded into the glass. And then we move forward onto the wheels. Wheels are beautifully done, and just inside I can see the gold brake caliper, which is synonymous with the Polestar 1, and the Polestar logo in the centre of the wheels looks extremely well painted. And I'm loving the well, I love these wheels anyway, but I'm loving the black paint inside the wheels, beautifully finished. And I'm just going to check, and yes, rubber tyres on there, but I will take this off the base in a moment. On the front we've got the headlights, very accurately presented with the sort of Polestar signature line through the middle, and the blade at the top. I think they call it the hammer on the front here. And the grille, well, the painting on this grille is absolutely wonderful. The detailing on there, absolutely exquisite. Each one of the lines is just individually picked out. There's so much clarity on there. And then down in the quarter here we've got the moulding, which is really detailed in the way it's picked out, and the air intake at the base, again very detailed. Yeah, very well done indeed. What a beautiful model. Small little blemish in the paint just here. Let me just try and... oh, that's come away. There must have been a little mark on there, but yeah, I thought there was a little blemish on the paint, but there isn't. Again, the Polestar logo on the hood there on the bonnet is perfectly represented. And then moving further round on the other side we have much the same. Beautifully crafted wheels, beautifully crafted discs, brake discs and calipers. We've still got the gold calipers on the rear here, and yeah, the wing mirror the same. Shut lines are all absolutely perfect. There's no imperfections on this model at all. And then towards the rear, again the Polestar logo in the centre, the rear quarter glass absolutely perfectly represented. And then at the back there we've got Polestar 1 on the number plate. I didn't actually see the one on the front, no number plate on the front, but Polestar 1 on the rear number plate, and a little accent, little red accent in either side just above the bumper line, which is yeah, lovely detail. The interior is quite difficult to see because it's but it's all fully represented in there. I mean, there's quite a clear shot through the window of the console, the center console, and yeah, again, really beautifully crafted in there. But as I say, the glass is quite tinted. I'll try and get some decent shots of that looking through the glass with the camera. Well, I've spent a crazy amount of time trying to photograph in through the side windows, but the tinting on the glass is just too dark to get a decent shot. So what I've actually ended up doing, taking the car completely apart in order to show the interior. Now, first of all, let's have a quick look at the inside here. You can see that the roof console and indeed the headliner is all perfectly modelled in there. Even down to the sun visors are represented on the headliner there. And then the interior itself, I mean, how about that? It's just a shame you can't see it so clearly through the glass. All of the little chrome flashing, or silver flashing, is all picked out. The screen in the middle has got the Polestar emblem on there. The same with the steering wheel with the Polestar emblem or logo in the middle of the steering wheel, and the airbag totally represented. The console, all of the little doors are represented in there, and yeah, the silver lifting part. The seats, really well modelled, and we've got the gold seat belts all picked out on the sides here. Door trims as well, lots of detail on those. We can see the handles picked out again in silver. Really nice finish on the whole interior. Pleased I took it apart actually to have a decent look at that. And even down to the texture on the IP there, really exquisitely modelled. As I say, it's just a shame. Well, it's not a shame. I mean, the windows are tinted for a reason because it's an accurate model, but yeah, just such a lovely interior. The kind of thing you'd like to sort of show off, I guess. Yeah, this is where, you know, they're expensive models, but this is where the money's spent on details inside here. And then looking through the rear glass, we've got the two features on what would be the parcel shelf and the brake light. Again, all very, very well crafted and picked out in the model. Well, first impressions, it's stunning, absolutely perfectly modelled, and I think I'll get this off the base and let's have a look underneath. So the car is just held on with a couple of screws underneath, so I'll just undo those very gently. One there, move that to one side, and one on this side. And we've got a plastic stand actually holding the model there, so make sure I don't lose any of those pieces. Right, underneath the model, so we have 3 spinning wheels. It says at the front here, made in China, 1/43 scale, Norev down the side there, Polestar 1 down this side. Lovely crafted wheels on there. Just trying to see if they've got anything embossed on them. No, they're not embossed, but the tread pattern on there is very well done, very detailed. And then the under tray of the car has all been picked out. We haven't got like a nice smooth base. There's not too much detail on there, but not that you would expect it. Just a fairly standard representation here, and you can see with this being a car with an ICE engine, with an internal combustion engine, got the exhaust system running through here into the rear of the car. Very nice indeed. Well, moving on to the next model, we've got here another Polestar 1. This one in Osmium grey. So the box is exactly the same packaging, so I'm just going to slide the polythene off, and yeah, exactly the same. As I look through from the front here, I can see a reflection of the car back at me from the packaging. This nice shiny packaging, not quite as crisp as the white, obviously, with this being grey against grey. It's not quite as crisp as the white, but still has the same effect, which is yeah, very pleasing to the eye. Makes the model look absolutely superb, very nicely presented. Got a little damage on the box here. Oh, that's a shame, but those things happen probably in transit. Right, let me just lift this open again using my little ruler trick, and I'll just slide out the model, the box to one side. And again, this grey packaging is exactly the same. I'll just pop that to one side, and let's have a quick look around the model. Okay, so the immediate thing that jumps out on here is the chrome finish around the windows. On this one we had a black finish around the windows. This one has got the chrome finish around the windows. It's also got a chrome strip running through the roof, which now that I see it in chrome on here, I can see that, or in silver should I say, now I can see it on here, that the white model did have the white line running all the way through. And certainly the glass is not so tinted on this one, which allows me to see inside the car a lot clearer. Oh, these are just superb models, they really are. So again, quick walk round, you know, you can see the filler cap perfectly picked out, the shut lines are absolutely perfect, the wheels are just as good as on the white one. As I say, the chrome around the glass, and the mirrors with proper mirrors inside. We've got the Polestar 1 again on the side of the car here, and I'll get a detailed shot of that. The wheels, the brake discs, the brake calipers, all lovely representation. On the front here, this time round on the grille, we've got chrome surrounding the grille, whereas on the previous Polestar 1 we had a black surround. We've now got the silver surround on here. Same headlights, picked out exactly the same, with the hammer fairing still in there. The Polestar symbol just very subtle on the hood of the, or on the bonnet of the car, and again moulded in wipers. I think that's the only complaint with these models so far, is the fact that the wipers aren't separately fitted, they're moulded in on the glass. I don't suppose it makes a difference. I mean, you know, you'd have to look really close to see that they were moulded in, but you know, I guess a small price to pay for the beauty that's in the rest of the model. Little things on this that make a difference. We've got the paint underneath this front intake. It's just been picked out in the grey, whereas on the white version you can see the white underneath there. Lots of attention to detail that makes this very, very special. And then on the back quarter you can see a little red accent down the side as before, and the same on the rear corner. Polestar 1 again written on the rear, and we've got the Polestar badge on the back, and the same detailing through the rear window. Again, an absolutely beautiful model, and it's interesting to compare the two colours to see the different areas, like where the chrome has been added onto the this metallic grey, and the black has been added onto the magnesium colour. Again, let's just take the second Polestar 1 off of the plinth. Again, identical underneath, nothing to really choose between the two. The tyre treads are all the same. Interestingly, something I didn't pick up on when I first looked around the white model is the tread patterns are directional, and they're all fitted around the correct way, which is I suppose what you come to expect with this level and quality. But yeah, I've seen models in the past with them fitted the wrong way around. Well, I've done exactly the same with this Polestar, taking it apart so we can have a look at the interior. Again, all the headliner is represented, a lot of detail there on the centre console, and then the interior, we've got these the cream seats there, and again, wonderfully picked out console. Now if I bring the two together, you see the difference in the seats. I love the way the headrests are still painted in black and the rest of the seat is picked out in white. And again, the gold seat belts on both. You know, I particularly like just around the edge here, I can get my finger in the shot just here, there's a gold line running all the way around the periphery of the interior. And again, the same on here. You see the texture on the instrument panel. Let's bring the two next to each other. And it is, as I say, it is where the money has been spent on these models. You can see, I'm just going to get a little screwdriver to point with. You can see here the air vents on the IP, and also the heads-up display. It's all represented in there. We've got the little sensor in the middle here for measuring the air temperature, and yeah, very, very detailed. I'm glad I took these apart actually to get some good shots, so I will do the same with the Polestar 2. Absolutely beautiful. Well, moving on to the other two that I've purchased, we have here the Polestar 2 which this one is the BST edition, so this is the special edition. We'll do that one last. And then this one here, which I'll just open up. And this one here, which is the standard Polestar 2 edition. Well, different packaging on the Polestar 2, so branding completely on point with the sort of, again, the minimalist box here and Polestar 2 embossed on the side there. On the ends, no Polestar logo this time, but just a pure plain white box here with a sort of mottled finished and texture on the side. Now, it does actually give the you know, the purchaser this sort of voyage of discovery where you're kind of looking down into the model inside, and you can look straight down on top. There's a little Polestar emblem on the top of the model and Polestar 2 written on the box. But personally, I actually prefer the Polestar 1 packaging, purely because when I display these, all I'm going to see is a white box with Polestar 2 on it. I'm not actually going to see the model. I'd have to lift the model out to actually see this clearly, whereas, you know, in the previous packaging with that reflection in the back of the box, it just looks very, very nice in there. So yeah, I like the idea, I like the minimalist approach. I like the fact that it's a box. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the Polestar showrooms, they refer to them as spaces, and they're all very sort of cubist with a, you know, almost like a white box that the cars are displayed in. So yeah, the packaging is sort of following with the theme of the brand. But yeah, I think for a model, I think I'd prefer to see it from the side so that I can display the box nicely. But that's just personal preference. Now, Polestar 2 is a fully electric car. Again, I've got this little tape on the base here, so I shall just undo that either side. And let's lift the model out. Now, an extremely detailed model yet again, and I'm loving the interior inside. Not quite so dark glass on this one, so I can actually see into the interior of the car. Right, so I've just gone back to the packaging just to check that I've got this right. So this is, let me read this out again, scale is 1/43 again, Polestar 2 Magnesium Performance Pack in charcoal. So I will actually cut that out and keep that with the model, just so I know what this is in the future. Now let's have a wander around the car again. So I've already mentioned the Polestar 2 written on the base just at the front here, and then as we go from the rear, we've got the charging flap, not a fuel flap as I mentioned on this car, because on one side, on the Polestar 1, you've got fuel on one side and battery on the other. This one is just on one side, so it's just the battery on there. And moving forward to the front door, we've got lovely shut lines all the way around, a little bit of a chrome flash through the lower part of the door there, where it joins onto the base of the sill of the car. Door handles are so well modelled. They look, well, they must be, well, they are separately fitted. You can see that they're perched on the side, and there's a nice recess inside, so they're not just moulded onto the door. Window frames, really detailed in the way that they're picked out onto the glass, and little pillars on the middle there. And the obscuration on the centre is really crisp on the rear window as well. Moving forward to the mirror, we've got a two-tone mirror, the same as we had on the Polestar 1. And again, I'm just going to check, yes, we do have the mirror glass in the mirror itself. Polestar 2 written on the bottom of the door there, and I'm afraid again the writing underneath is too small for me to read with my my glasses, so I will get a close-up shot of that. And then onto the wheels then. And on here the modelling is absolutely superb, as crisp as you can imagine. The painting on here, and yeah, the finish with the little Polestar logo in the middle, and with the brake discs and the gold caliper on the front and rear, very clear through the wheel, really brings the model to, gives it a little pop on the model. It's lovely, very nice indeed. Moving around onto the front again, same detailing on the light with the hammer on the side there, and this nice little flash of paint in between the lower valance and the air intake that's there. On the front we've got chrome surround or silver surround around the grille, and you see a little box in the middle there for the electronic sensors and things. all nicely picked out. And again, you know, the lower valance nicely detailed with no flashing, no marks, really well modelled, really crisp printing on the badge on top. And I'm just going to point out again the logo just on the thing through the roof on the top there, really nicely done. The other side follows again much the same theme, with the Polestar 2 written on the bottom there. Again, the same quality of the model, not a single imperfection. Now, I've already spotted this before we get around to the rear, and there is a problem. Oh dear. So this quarter glass is loose. I'll just lift that up close to the camera. Now, yeah, it's not the end of the world. It'll glue back in, but yeah, for the price of the model, really, that shouldn't be hanging out the back there. Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but these things happen. I guess, you know, it's already travelled many miles, this little model, so yeah, it's probably come off in the transit, but there you go. So carrying on around the back of the car, we've got Polestar 2 written on the number plate area. No number plate again on the front. The Polestar badge directly on point again on the rear of the car, and loving the wraparound lights on the rear of these. Glass wise, obscuration band around the top looks really good on the rear window and around the top of the car, and a little sensor on the top there nicely picked out. On the front window we can see again the obscuration band, and there's a little indent in the middle there again where the sensors would be. So all of the sensors picked out on the car, really nicely detailed and nicely well done. And on the rear seats I can see with the gold colour seat belts to match the gold colour calipers. We've got gold seat belts. I can't actually see on the B pillar. I'll have a look with the camera in a moment, see if I can see if the front seat belts are, and so much detail on there. It's just a shame that the I'd love it for the doors to open, or even for you know, the glass to be a little less here so I could see inside. Centre mirror is all picked out inside, and I can see again the reflective glass on there. Well, I've taken the Polestar 2 apart the same as the Polestar 1 cars, just to have a look at the interior. And let's start again with the centre console in the roof lining. And we see the head lining all represented, even grab handles represented on either side, and again the sun visors represented in there. And then in detail on the interior, we've got full B pillars modelled in, complete with the seat belts down the side. Got the 3 gold seat belts on the rear, complete with buckles. Turning round to the instrument panel, on the centre screen, got all these functions showing on the display, and then on the instrument panel round we've got the vents shown on there, and the dials just behind the steering wheel, and on the door trims the handle picked out, and yeah, various other bits picked out. Even the vents on the back of the console are shown on the interior. Really beautiful model. Well, rotating the model around, you can see even the gear selector just here is all represented. The little dial is in there. As I say, the screen complete with the display. We've got the Polestar badge in the centre of the wheel, and let me just move around to the dials at the front there. Yeah, lots of detail on here, and yeah, there's those vents on the back of the console. It really is an exquisite model. I mean, even the buckles on the seats are represented. I was going to say what I said before, it's just a shame that all of this detail, you can't really see it through the tinted windows. But I guess if you held it up to the light, you may be able to see this a little bit clearer. And yeah, again, what a beautiful and superb model. Right, let's just lift this one off of the base. And then underneath on the Polestar 2, Obviously no exhaust this time. Nice flat bottoms of the car with the detailing on here of the under tray. And then written on the top and the bottom, we've got Norev on the top here, or no Rev. I'm going to keep saying Norev because I think that's correct. And Polestar 2. And again, the wheels on here are nicely moulded in there. Got a nice tread pattern. I'm just going to see if it's the same tread. Indeed, it's the same tread pattern, and yeah, fitted the same way round, which is always good to see. That there's yeah, the detailing is really exceptional on these. Loving as well the I don't know if you can see, but the hubs on these, the way that they're picked out, these nice great big silver hubs, which is yeah, lovely detailing on there. I'm just seeing, we've not got that on the Polestar 1, but on the Polestar 2 it's there. So that's the Polestar 2 model. Very, very pleased with that. Not so pleased with the glass at the back, but as I say, we'll soon get that fixed. Just a little bit of glue on there. But now I have actually gone back to my computer just to check something. So I did actually go on the website, and I've got a correction to make, because I said these were £45. They're not. They're actually £50 each. So that's quite an expensive model car, this one, £50. So, but as I say, discounted at the moment if you do want one of these. And then finally, from the 4 cars that I ordered direct from Polestar, we've got this one here, the Polestar 2, the BST or Beast Edition 230, and just having a look underneath again, Norev 143rd, exactly the same as the others. This one's only actually available in 2 colours, which were the 2 colours that the full-size car were made from. And in terms of the full-size car, only 230 full-size vehicles were made. I don't believe, well, I know that the miniatures are not a limited run, but yeah, indeed the main run of cars limited to 230. And this is basically Polestar's premium performance edition. Had a very minimalist interior in terms of the colours inside, but I think it also had things like adjustable dampers and a little bit more horsepower and things. So again, the theming with the box carries on with a completely white square box or rectangular box, Polestar 2 BST 230 on there, and we'll just slide the model out. I think missing a trick here, what they should have done is put a hole in the base of the box, because, you know, whilst I like the way that it's a bit of an adventure to see what's inside and sort of peer over in there, to then have to tip it out is kind of, you know, it makes it, it takes the shine off the event. Whereas if you could push your finger through the base here and sort of see your model rise from the box, I think that would potentially be a little bit better. Anyway, this one's come off of its plastic box, so before I damage it at all, let me just take this out very gently. You can see what, you know, what a disaster it can be in unboxing these, rather than it being a pleasurable event. Now, out of all the cars, this one, absolutely stunning. I like this one a lot. It's got its very special livery on here with Polestar 2. It's got this stripe running through the centre of the car with the 2 on the hood, as you'd find on the full-size car, and on the front here, the BST logo just on the grille. In terms of how it's presented as a model, we've got Polestar 2 again, BST Edition 230 on the base. We're running very much on the same theme. We've still got the gold belts, we've still got the gold calipers, and the discs look really crisp through the wheels. Now the wheels on this one are fully black. Now I actually prefer to see the black and the silver. I think it adds to the detail, but obviously with this special edition they were fully black wheels on here. Getting a little Polestar writing on the side there, and the black flashing around the door this time. Again, same handles are fitted. Looks very crisp. The light on the back of this is all glued in. Incidentally, I've glued that rear glass off camera and it's absolutely fine, so no problem there at all. The tiniest bit of glue on there to fix that. Around the front, I mean, it just looks, it looks so purposeful. I love this black stripe through the middle. I just think it really sets off the car and really does set off the model. Round at the front on this one, the grille is or this area on the grille. We've got on the other Polestar 2, you can see we've got this sort of checkered front grille, whereas on the limited edition one we've got this absolutely flat grille on there that's beautifully represented, and you can see in the middle there the sensors. Again, sensors picked out the window and on the roof, and just round on the other side. Detail continues. Lovely crisp lines, not a blemish at all on the model. And then on the back here, BST edition 230 with on the number plate there, and the black line running through the back with the Polestar emblem just on the back of the car. Really discreet and just brings it absolutely perfectly. What a... And the final tear down, the BST version, and yeah, again, exquisite detail in there. As I say, completely black interior in the BST, so yeah, it's very minimalist, and yeah, not a lot of chrome in there, but the center screen's still picked out, as you can see there, with the orange on there, and again all the dials picked out. I'll get some detailed shots in that in a moment, but also the center console, grab handles, the sun visors are all represented in the roof lining there. So just having a quick look inside the BST version. You can see again the vents on the back of the console, and let's see if we can zoom in on the screen. I mean, talking about detail, the Polestar logo, it is just so well done. Loving the rear seat belts as well, just picked out, really crisp, nicely painted, and yeah, just comparing the two interiors, let's bring in the base Polestar 2, and I'm just going to turn them round, bring the two together in the same shot. You can see how the center screen is slightly different between the two, and with this one with the chrome and flashing on the vents, and this one just with the flashing just on the center of the vent. I mean, it's a testament to Norev, the way that they've tooled up for printing the different interiors and capturing the difference between the two vehicles. Normally when a manufacturer, they kind of do a printing run, and things like this would just be duplicated in between the two vehicles, just because they think people won't see it, people won't notice. But clearly the attention to detail on this has been absolutely wonderful. What a lovely model that is. I think out of all of them so far, that's been my favourite one. Let me take this one off the base. Now the underside of the car, we do have slightly different tread patterns on the wheels here, which is quite interesting. So we've got unique tread on the wheels, because obviously with this being the competition car or the high performance car, this has got a different tread pattern on there. That's really great to see. I'm very impressed by the fact that they've picked up on the tread patterns on the rims, and also the wheels are slightly wider on the performance car, only by a couple of millimeters in the model, but obviously in real life these are much fatter tyres on the performance car, and you can see that quite clear in the detailing. The same can be said, I think, for the diameter of the wheels. I'd need to go and have a look it up, but I think the diameter of the wheels, these are slightly smaller diameter. The actual detailing underneath is exactly the same, just with Norev and Polestar 2 written on the base, so that doesn't change at all. But I am impressed by the fact that they've picked up on the tread pattern on the wheels, and yeah, beautiful looking. And just to mention, on the Performance BST edition, you can see on the mirrors here there's a little flash on the end, which we don't have on the standard two-tone Polestar 2 mirrors that are there. So that's a really nice little detail picked up on there. Again, I'll just move those four cars to one side for a moment, and let's talk about this box. So this is the collector's edition of Need for Speed Heat, the computer game. This came out a couple of 2 or 3 years ago. and in its release, the Halo car, or the you know, the poster car, if you like, was the Polestar 1. And inside this collector's edition, just on the side here, you can see this window as a model of the Polestar 1 from the Need for Speed game. Now inside here, let me just run through these. We've got first of all Need for Speed Heat with the Polestar 1 in here. Electric performance hybrid, engineered without compromise and designed to the micron. And gives it on the back here some information about the Polestar 1 in here. Now the car that you see here, the Polestar 1, which has got this big wing put on the back and these extended panels and the different features on here. Basically, I'm going to read this bit out. It's a collaborative brainchild of the digital wizard Kaisel Salem, car builder Daniel Korovobis, and EA Sports. And basically they took a Polestar 1 and let's use the word souped up and made it into the Halo car that became part of the game. Here we've got a little notepad with Need for Speed written on it, and then this is the box that the game would have come in, metal case. My one, plastic's broken on my one unfortunately, but you can see a metal case on here, and I don't know which car that is on the front, but it's not the Polestar. And then down the side here we've got some magnets that basically to stick onto various things. Let's see what that says inside. Risk. What else is in there? We got Need for Speed, Heat, and there's the Polestar at the back there. So these sort of magnetic, I guess, you know, fridge magnets, I guess, or, you know, whatever they're for. But I certainly wouldn't want to be putting them anywhere near a, you know, PlayStation computer or games console. There's a magnetism on them. Slide those back in there. And then there's another little pack of stickers here. I don't know what they're all about. Not really into the game, but obviously I bought it because I wanted the model of the car. And what a beautiful car it is as well. So still 143, and you can see that it's obviously not by Norev. I don't know who makes these, but the quality is not the same, not by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, definitely not made by them. I don't know who makes these. Maybe we'll find out in a moment. Let me just move the boxes out of the way. Now, lifting the lid off of here, I'm just going to bring the Norev Polestar 1 back in, and you can see what they've actually done to this car. I mean, it is quite a fabulous mock-up, you know, with this huge splitter on the front, these huge air deflectors around the front, these massive air intakes across the bonnet, across the hood, and these little rails down either side. Got these extended wheels, and then again with the venting across the top of the wheel arch. These over exaggerated skirts are down the side, and then round the back of the car. If you just look down on top, you can see that we've got these two features added onto the top of the boot lid, and the glass running through with these sort of wind deflectors or air brakes, I guess, on the top here. Again, massive wheel arches on the rear and these huge wide wheels all round, and then finally this really big elaborate wing on the back. Yeah, really outlandish, and changes what was a very moderate, discreet but beautiful car into something very aggressive and for want of a better word, very loud. Anyway, round to the model. So it's definitely not at the same quality. I'm looking at the shut lines and I can see the paint is slightly well, it's run into the joins and thinned in places. Not as crisp around all of the shut lines. Certainly the windows are completely blacked out, so there's no interior. The wheels have absolutely no detail on them, except for the fact that the front and rear are different, which is nice to see. And generally, you know, this is much more of a toy, but also somewhat of a rarity compared with these miniature masterpieces. So just walking around the car very quickly, then we've got the plastic skirt that's added on. As I say, the paint's not too good around the doors. We've got a little bit of lining around the window, which is nice. The window's blacked out, moulded in door handle. And then around the front of the car, we've got the styling cue on the headlights. That's still there. And I love the grille that's moulded in here in the matte finish. Works really well with all the diffusers on the front here. And then round onto the other side, as I say, 2 different wheels. So you've got the spoke wheel on the rear and the dished wheel on the front. And then round the back, this wing. Yeah, very nice. Nice little collectible if you can get one. As I say, they do come up for sale now and again, but quite few and far between. And they are now fetching a very small premium. And lifting this off the base. And just looking underneath, there's no markings at all. No rubber wheels, plastic rims on here, and you can see the flashing on the wheels are still left on there. So really, this is one of those things that gets included in the game, rather than being, I'm going to repeat myself here, a nice little detailed model. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed looking at these models. I think they're all absolutely stunning. I love this. I love the quirkiness of it, but I think out of all of them, my favourite has to be the BST Polestar 2. Beautiful, beautiful model. Now, out of all of the models, the only problem I had was the light not being too good on one of them, and that was very easily and very soon fixed. But other than that, wonderful, wonderful collection. I wish I could collect them all, but unfortunately, you know, they are rather pricey. So it's a case with these, you know. Certainly for me, I was very fortunate to get 4 of them, but that only occurred because of the postage. Otherwise, I would have, you know, probably found it difficult to choose which one to get. As it goes, I think, you know, I probably would have liked to have got some of the other colours, but you know, maybe we'll see what comes in the future. Anyway, thank you to Polestar for allowing me to use the video at the beginning of this one, their video showing the miniatures in the miniature showroom. I thought that was a nice way to start the video. And with that, I'll start wrapping up the video. So if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. And why not check out the channel? I've got lots on there. And if you can subscribe, you've done me a really big favour. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and helps me grow a little bit in terms of viewers. So yeah, every like and subscribe really does help. And I'll be very, very grateful. And I'll just close this one out by saying thanks ever so much for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.